Good morning, class. I am Mr. Saldana, and I'll be teaching you a new sport introduced to our curriculum today, known as Bocce Ball. Bocce Ball has been around for a while, but it's a new sport into our system. Bocce Ball is great to play with friends and family. It's great because it's fun, easy, it can be competitive, but it's not very stressful on the body. It's super easy to play. That means even your pop-pop can play with you at home. Now, Bocce Ball consists of 9 balls. You have 2 sets of 4 balls that creates the teams of the bocces, called Bocce balls, and you have the palina, which is the target. So in essence, you have 9 balls total for a Bocce Ball set. The game is started by throwing the palina out in the middle of the field. Each team takes turns throwing their Bocce balls, try to get the closest to the palina as possible. Only one team can score per frame, so whichever team is the closest to palina wins that frame. You collect your balls, count your score, count as many balls are as closest to palina versus the other teams, and you count that score towards the end total. After you collect the balls, you move to the other side, throw the palina out again, and continue the next frame. The conclusion of the game is reached when either the time limit has been reached or your point total has been reached. Today's lesson is going to focus on the most commonly used method to throw the Bocce ball in the game of Bocce, known as the underhand toss. This lesson will make you be successful in the game of Bocce ball. So to continue on with our lesson regarding the underhand toss, there's a couple of cues I want to share with you first. The first is you want to make sure that your weight is on your dominant leg. Now I am left-handed and left-footed, so my kicking leg is my left leg, also known as my dominant leg. So your kicking dominant leg, your weight should be on there. You should stand back, have your hand on top of the ball. You are going to step through and at the same time swing through with your hand on top of the ball. So once again, the 3 cues are weight on dominant leg, step through, swing through. Weight, dominant leg, step, swing. Dominant leg, step, and swing. If you have your hand on top of the ball, it's much easier to have the ball dead when it hits the ground. If you have your hand underneath the ball, it will more likely than roll once it reaches the ground, make it much harder to judge for accuracy. Here are a couple of demonstrations of what the underhand toss should look like with your hand on top. Weight on the back foot, step through, swing the arm. Weight on the back foot, step through, swing the arm. Weight on the back foot, step through, and swing the arm. Notice each time my hand's on top of the ball, creating a backspin, or a top spin I should say, to dead the ball once it hits. Now I want everybody to stand on up, get into the ready position, put the ball in your hand, weight on your back foot or your dominant foot, kicking leg, hand on top. Good. Now I'm going to say everyone step through and fall through the hand. Reset, step through and fall through the hand. Okay? Step through and fall through the hand. Nice job, everybody. Okay, everybody go pick up the ball and place it by your feet. Good. All right. Now, anytime I say freeze, it is to be known that you stop what you're doing, whatever equipment is in your hand, you place it by your feet, so you are now ready for instruction. Okay, let's do the demonstration one more time, but this time with the ball in our hand. We're not throwing it, we are just simply having the ball in our hand so we can get a feel for it while continuing to do the same motion. So, ball in hand, weight back, step forward, and swing. Good job. Nice job on those underhand tosses, everybody. So now I want everybody to get a partner, get 3 balls, two of those balls should be the same color, one of those balls should be a different color. All three of your balls should be Bocce balls. We're not using the Polina just quite yet. You're going to get two balls of different colors with one partner, one ball with the other partner on the other side. Each partner will be facing each other about 10 spaces apart. The opposite color ball is going to be placed around the middle or on the same color balls are going to be the target. They're going to be placed somewhat near the partners. The partner with the opposite color ball is the one that's going to be being tossed. You guys are going to take 10 tosses each, trying to get the ball as closest to the opposite color ball as possible. Make sure you remember your cues of weight on your dominant foot, stepping through, and following through with the arm. Ready? Go. Nice job, everyone. Okay, now I want you to freeze. Good. Put your equipment by your feet. Nice job, everybody. Oh, I gotta do the same thing. Okay. A couple things I want to touch on for refinement here is I want you guys to pay close attention to the flight path of the ball, which is a fancy way of saying the path of the ball that the ball travels through the air. I know some of you guys are really over tossing it. Some of you guys are coming really short. Maybe the adjustment might be you have to have a higher arc on the ball, or maybe more of a straight line towards the ball so you get closer to your intended destination or target. Another variation I want you guys to try to do is if you're consistently not hitting the ball, I want you guys to move a little closer. If you're consistently hitting the ball, go ahead and move back a couple of paces. I want you guys to challenge yourselves so you're consistently being successful in these next segments. Remember again, the cues. Weight on your back dominant foot. You're going to step forward with your non-kicking foot and follow through with your hand on top of the ball. Okay, go again. Okay, everyone, freeze. We're going to play a new tip activity. It's called Superstar. The way it's played is you are still 10 spaces away. You still have your 3 balls, you have your 2 targets, and you have your throwing bocce ball. The way Superstar works is when you throw the ball, you are trying to get the ball within 3 feet of your intended target. As you do that, you get a letter of the word Superstar. So if I throw the ball and I get it within the 3 feet proximity, I get an S. If I don't get the letter, I have to wait my next turn to try to get the next letter again. Once you get S-U-P-E-R-S-T-A-R, that spells Superstar. And then you do the Superstar pose. All right? Any questions? Okay, let's begin. All right, everybody, go ahead and freeze. I want to go ahead and highlight a couple of groups that are doing it well. I like Nancy's group over there and Oscar's group over here. They're doing a fantastic job of making sure they're following the cues of staying back, weight, stepping forward with their non-kicking foot, and following through with their arm. Most importantly, their hand is on top of the bocce ball as they're letting go, while still looking and making adjustments of their flight path, and they're continuously getting within the range of their target. So remember, once again, the cues. Foot weight back on your dominant kicking foot. You're going to step through and follow through with your hand on top of the ball. All right, everybody. All right, guys, you're doing an excellent job. We got 2 more activities that we're going to do. The next one is we're going to be keeping track of just how well we're doing. So we're going to still be 10 spaces apart. We're going to continue with our underhand throws. And what we're going to do is we want to keep track of how many times within 10 tosses we can hit our target. Okay? So same thing. We're going to do your underhand toss, weight back, step through, follow through. Your partner's going to keep track of how many times your green ball or your bocce throwing ball hits your intended target. Okay? Ready and go. Good job, everybody. Now freeze. Good. I see good improvement across the board. Nice job, everyone. Last thing we're going to do is I'll give you guys a little bit of a challenge. We've kind of done the same step the last few times. I see some of you guys getting a little uninterested with this task. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to challenge you a little bit. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to try to go for accuracy. But once you get the bocce ball to your target 3 times in a row, you are now both allowed to step back 2 spaces. So if I go on my 3rd throw and I hit the target within 3 feet, every time I get to take 2 steps back. Once my partner has done his job and hit his target 3 times, he gets to take 2 steps back. When you take your 2 steps back, take your target with you, place it next to you, and continue to throw. Once you are not able, or the moment you do not hit the bocce ball within a 3 feet radius, you are to take 2 steps forward to your original spot. If you mess up again, you gotta get 2 more steps closer. So this should tell you just how far your limit is with your accuracy. So once again, you're gonna do the same thing. You're trying to hit the bocce ball target within a 3 foot radius. If you hit that target 3 times in a row, move back. The moment that you do not hit that target 3 times in a row, move forward. Every time you miss, you move forward. Every time you hit it 3 times, you get to move back. So you're constantly moving forward or moving back. Okay? Ready, set, go. Good job, everybody. Now freeze. All right, everybody, let's have everyone pick up their equipment, bring it in, place your equipment in the proper containers, and then make a half circle around me. Good job of following directions. Now I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions out today. First is, what were the cues for today? Good. Which were leaning back on your dominant leg, step through on your non-dominant leg, follow through with your hand on top. Speaking of hand on top, why is it important? Should your hand be on top or on the bottom? On top, I just answered that, yeah. So why? Why should your hand be on top? No, that's not right. It doesn't roll, it detonates it. That's why you have your hand on top. You have your hand on top because it creates a backspin, and when it hits the ground, it stops in place. If you had your hand underneath the ball, it would have a forward spin, hit the ground, and roll forward, making it harder to judge what your accuracy is eventually going to be. I didn't talk about this very much, but I tried to bring it up. We didn't use it today, but I did talk about it. What is the Polina? Nice job, Carlos. It's the target. Good job, buddy. And last but not least, how many teams are in bocce ball? That's right, 2 teams, 1 to 4 players, and there's 9 balls total. Good job, guys. So last but not least, I want to talk about some of the academic language I used today, which was an arch, which has to do with the flight path of the ball, the trajectory of the ball as it goes through the air. The Paulina, which is also known as a smaller ball, is a target in bocce ball. Your dominant leg is your kicking leg, right? So make sure that dominant leg is back as one of your cues. The flight path, which is also the path that the ball goes through while it's in the air. And swinging your arm forward is simulating the underhand motion. So thank you for today. You guys did an excellent job. If you guys want to practice at home, you can practice with any other type of ball. A bocce ball is best because it is weighted a little more heavier than like a softball or a tennis ball or something like that. But just getting that feel for it is all that you really need. Next time in class, we're going to talk about different strategies of bocce ball and ways you can hit the Polina to knock it to a more favorable position on your side, knock the other players' bocces out of the way. That way you guys can start strategizing gameplay and make it a little more competitive. All right, y'all. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday.